Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and I'd like to introduce you to a concept called the Progress Initiative. Now, it's really a concept, but it's also a program we've created for organizations. Let me explain where it came from. First, we teach managers how to coach. We have a full-blown training strategy. And let's be honest, training alone sometimes is just not enough. So we created this concept called the Progress Initiative based on three primary factors. A couple years ago, a great book came out called The Progress Principle. Now keep in mind, we've been teaching progress coaching for over 20 years. The cool thing about this book, The Progress Principle, is it showed that people, 76% of the time, were at their most motivated state when they felt like they were progressing or improving in their job. So it got me thinking, boy, there's a lot of power in progress. How do we leverage that? Do we leverage it? Do managers know how to leverage it? So that's the first element that got us thinking about creating the Progress Initiative. The second one was a client of ours, great guy, very directive manager, very frustrated when he was talking to me about his team's lack of performance. And I asked him about his conversations. And very quickly I ascertained they were very constructive, very corrective action. He was fixing things that were wrong, and sometimes we need to do those things. So I asked him a fundamental question, because I'm embedded in this. It's been proven when we lead with people's strengths, they will engage 8 times more according to the Gallup organization. So it gets you thinking, how often was this guy doing that? So I gave him a 4-week challenge, and I said, I want to give you a challenge called a Progress Challenge. Do you think, and this is my coaching question, do you think that your results will dramatically change in the next 4 weeks based on what you're currently doing? He said, no, probably not. I said, awesome. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to change up your approach. It's not going to deter a lack of results. It's not going to affect you. You just gave me that information. But I only want you to provide positive feedback. I want you to call at least 3 people in weekly to acknowledge the good things that they're doing, which encompasses you, requires you to go look for the good things. So I call him after 1 week and he said, this is frustrating. Tim, I'm biting my tongue. I'm swallowing blood here. The second week I call, I said, what are you noticing? He said, well, my people are doing some good things, but there's a lot of things we got to fix. The third week goes by. I call him. I said, so let me ask you, how do you feel? And he said, well, it's getting a little easier. It's still pretty uncomfortable. And I could tell his tone was changing. By the 4th week, he started to notice something. The results were improving. People felt good about getting better. He was acknowledging the good things. So that's the second element that got me thinking about creating the Progress Initiative. Now, the third one is very much off the beaten path of the corporate workplace. I coach volleyball. I coach high school volleyball and I coach club volleyball. And I had a team that, dare I say, 13-year-old team, mainly 11 and 12-year-olds on my team. And the first week, we couldn't get the ball over the net. We couldn't get the ball to the front row. And the parents were, certainly watching this thinking, oh boy, this is going to be tough. And parents were making comments like, I think we're the worst team at this tournament. And what I have to do, and certainly being a father, I'm very conscientious of the impact I can have on an 11, 12-year-old boy. So what I have to do is be positive. If I yell at a kid, does that really work? So I kept saying, here are the good things we're doing. And I would sit my kids in a circle and I said, well, who played well at the last tournament? Who's hitting the ball well? Who did a pretty good job passing? And every week I'd get them talking about their teammates positively. Then I would ask them in one-on-ones, we do 2 one-on-ones during the season, what are you enjoying most about it? What do you love about your team? And where do you feel like you're improving? All positive questions, right? And something magical happened. After our Chicago tournament, we have taken no less than 3rd. Do I think their skill sets became better? Yeah, a little bit. Do I think their cooperation as a team improved? Dramatically. How did I do that? A parent came up to me and said, what is the turnaround? I said, look, sometimes it just clicks, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't think kids this age react to yelling and screaming. So I've tried to maintain an element of a positive set of instructions and get them to see the silver lining. It will come in time. It may not be this season. So the cool thing is our last tournament of the year, we win a tournament. we took no less than third our last 5 tournaments. And this is a team who could not get the ball to the front row. So the Progress Initiative is about how do we strategically, tactically get organizations to progress? How do we teach managers how to leverage progress? How do we teach employees not only how to receive feedback, but become more aware of their own progress? And how can they acknowledge their teammates' progress? So if you're interested in a very cool concept that can change a workplace culture, reach out to us and get some information on the Progress Initiative. Thanks for your time.